mean, we had talked right before the draft with you guys, and I said it was going to be unpredictable. That's about the only thing that I could predict, that it was going to be unpredictable. So I think there's a number of things going on in the draft, and so we do quite a bit of modeling in time, and constantly, even we try to set up as much as we can before the draft, or just with possible teams could be interested, move up, move down, and so you start getting a number of calls when various players who think teams or people projected weren't going to be or are still around, and there was quite a few. So anyway, you start getting calls up and weighing whether you trade up, trade down, trade back, and a lot of our modeling just said for us to stay put, and it made sense, and we're thrilled with how the draft went. Thrilled.
Can I just ask a basic question? Why do you like Cody Williams? Why do you like Isaiah?
So with Cody, he's a true wing with NBA speed and talent and skill. He's very young, obviously a lot of work to do on the body. I think when you guys meet him, one of the things I was very impressed with is he's much more mature for what a normal 18-and-a-half-year-old is. He's one of the youngest players in the draft. And he's got a spirit and some experience because he went through this with his brother and sees what it's like, and he loves basketball. It's a basketball family. And I'm really excited for him to be part of our program, and we're really happy to, continue to help him grow.
Yeah, when it comes to his brother, how much can that help to just have a family member in the NBA with you?
I think for the most part, it's really beneficial because, you might ask, Keontae George, 365 days after he was drafted, and it's like, what have you learned? He hears that from his brother every day, like the first three years, like, I had to work harder. I thought I worked hard. I needed to work harder. The physical, the strength, the physicality you need to play in the league. A lot of people don't get that until it hits them straight in the face. And they're like, oh, wow, this is a different league. And so just having that perspective early and someone who is, in his family, a very hard worker and has experienced good early success, I think is a great example for him. They're going to be different. They're not the exact same player at all. But just being able to be around that, can continue to inspire and grow Cody's passion for the game.
How do you help him avoid those comparisons, I guess, because those are obviously going to...
I mean, he could get his last name changed, I guess, but, that's going to be inevitable, but his time in the league is going to be, and his reputation is going to be marked by what he does and how he grows and progresses, and that's how you make your own reputation.
Both Cody and Isaiah are high RSCI guys who then, I don't know if you could say disappointed, but maybe a little bit in their college seasons. So what do you see from their high school games that maybe didn't translate in the college aspect that may translate with the Jazz or in their pro careers?
Yeah, I think a couple different reasons. Like with Cody, he came into a very mature team, an older team that played. And so I think a lot of times he would defer and try to figure out how to play with them. And so you learn a lot like that, how to play with others. The high school stuff, you see the athletic talent and the skill and all those things that he did a very good job in high school. So I don't think that there was anything concerning that it wouldn't project. It's like you're trying to find context within college of why things were the way they were. But, like I said a couple days ago, is like you're finding the positives, and there's a lot of positives with Cody and with Isaiah. I think with Isaiah, he was a very prominent high school player, much like, different players, but much like Keontae, and was dominating his competition. And, at one point, the number one player in high school on a big schedule. Going to USC, the season obviously didn't go the way they all wanted. A lot of ups and downs that, had an injury in the middle. I think he did start, he learned how to play with his team. Had a bunch of turnovers early, though those improved in the last half of the season. He still has a great frame and speed and can get in the paint whenever he wants. That's something that you usually can't teach. So are there things we need to continue to work on? Work on the pull-up, work on the shooting. I think he shoots it fine, mechanically. I'm sure that our coaches will be able to do things, but the thing I think he also profiles is that I think he can be a very good guard defender, with the body and being able to see and read. I think that can be just as important defensively too.
How do you see Isaiah's ability to pass the ball fitting in, with the rest of the roster?
As you know, our coach says, move the ball. He moves the ball. Having other guys that play that way, I think, only help the teammates and help Isaiah. I think Cody also he's the farthest thing from a selfish player. He likes to move the ball. He likes to connect with his teammates. You saw that in Colorado, whatever role he had to play. So having two guys that can connect with our group, I think is important. And they have physical profiles that I think have historically shown very good results in the NBA.
You mentioned the possibilities of trading down or out. Were there possibilities to trade up? Because that was some of the rumors.
Yeah, there were a couple. Okay. There was a couple from 10. It just, I was really happy that we stayed at 10. You just don't know, and then things start to fall, and then the price gets out of whack, and it just didn't make sense. A lot more to move up from 29 to early 20s, stuff like that. But as the draft started to fall, there was very high percentage chances that on our probability markers that the guys that we like were going to be there. You'd be paying for certainty, which sometimes is really nice, but we had a group of players that were going to be available that, so we are absolutely thrilled that Isaiah was available for us to take.
With Cody, how much do you anticipate him being able to contribute right away versus how much development does he need and to be ready in the next few years?
I think all of these guys are going to need time to develop and NBA experience and things like that. So how his summer goes, and then how many gains can he make? I think the strength part's going to be a huge part for him. So what kind of progress he makes, and then how quickly he learns stuff and things like that. So as I've told you guys know very well from Coach, there's no free minutes, but there are opportunities, obviously, with a young developmental squad to earn a place. And no matter where that place starts, we've had historically a very good track record of being able to get guys where they want to go. So.
And this question is from Sarah Todd. With both Cody and Isaiah, there's been questions about shooting. Cody with volume, Isaiah with consistency. What are your thoughts there for both players?
Good question, Sarah. The volume, obviously, the way we play and his footwork and working on some of those things for him to be able to get it. He's certainly got the frame and the height to be able to, become a volume deep shooter. It's one of the things that we'll work on. I think with Isaiah, the part for, I'm not making excuses at all, but when you've been so dominant in the high school level and even college to get in the paint whenever you want and be at the rim whenever you want, and absolutely dominate your competition that is your age, you can make an argument of whether he's had enough reps or not, but to be able to do that, because he's not going to be able to do all that all the time in the NBA. He's going to be able to do some of it at a high level. So having those other parts to his game, he's a very hard worker, and I think also he hasn't shown it as much because he's been so dominant that way. So all of them need work, but we're fine with the mechanics. Maybe we'll make some tweaks, but it's really his pace and his ability to see and his ability to make others better and be able to score for himself and create for himself is big qualities.
Okay. Thank you.
All good? Thanks, guys.